Hello and welcome to Flow Coaching Institute. We are so excited to have you here, and we want to thank you for taking the time to explore our website, our corporate services, and of course, our coaching curriculum. In 2009, Flow Coaching started servicing corporations around the world, helping them build stronger managers, stronger teams, and a stronger vision to help grow their successful businesses. In 2014, we received our ACTP certification for our coaching curriculum and have trained thousands of coaches around the world. In 2018, we'll be bringing that coaching curriculum to Canada. Throughout this video, Talia and myself will be talking a little bit about Flow, our credentials and background, how coaching can help your organization build stronger teams, managers, and vision, and how Flow Coaching has the right curriculum for you to enhance your coaching profile, experience, or career. Once again, thank you for taking the time to learn about Flow Coaching Institute and our services. If you have any unanswered questions, please message us and we'll get back to you right away. Now let's get to the video.
ACTP program means that your program has got an accreditation from International Coach Federation, and it means Accredited Coach Training Program. So when I became a coach 10 years ago, I'm a professional certified coach right now, moving towards my MCC Master Certified Coach credentialing. I had two options. I already completed a therapy program, so I might have thought like, okay, I don't need another training. But what I wanted to do was like, I want to have a structure. When I'm coaching, it's a relationship. Yes, you can, feel like relationship is everything. But in that relationship, in the session, when you are together with your client, you need a structure. You can talk about, otherwise you can talk about anything, you can, chat, but that doesn't mean that that conversation is a coaching conversation. To turn into a coaching conversation, you need that structure, and ACTP program gives you that structure that you need, and also it helps you to lead and facilitate that structure during the session. Otherwise, you can go free flow, and that is okay maybe sometimes, but then what value your clients will get from that conversation will bring sustainability to your profession as a coach. Otherwise, you might miss that sustainability, So that is one thing. And another thing that I found when I did my ACTP program, and what our students also currently is getting as a value from the ACTP program, is that we really guide them through. They get supervision, they get feedback. We really tell them about what is going right, when and how they're aligned with ICF competencies, and when they're not aligned with ICF competencies, we give feedback so that they get a chance to work on those competencies. That's so important. That's crucial with any kind of profession, and that I think gives them the confidence to go and coach others, so that they're not alone. They're not alone. Because when you finish your program, or when you finish any kind of training, the research tells us that the behavioral change is only around 20%. But when it is followed by coaching and feedback and supervision, that change is around 80%. So when you have that in the ACTP program, all that feedback, all that coaching, all that mentoring, it's highly, it's a high possibility that you will succeed as a coach. So I think this is the value of going into an ACTP program.
What's important about this certification is that when we start out anything new, we're just learning for the first time, we're pretty much unconsciously incompetent about that topic. So we're going to make a shift to unconsciously competent, but then we know what we're not competent in. We got to do something about that. No good to stay at that unconscious competence. Then the next level is consciously competent. Now I know what I know. I need some feedback about it. I need to figure out if I'm using it, instead of just criticizing myself, just making myself wrong. So then that's when you move through feedback to that unconscious competence. It just becomes natural. It's just second nature to you. And you get that by getting feedback. And one of the things that I hear students say to me all the time, oh, I didn't know that was an example of a good question. Oh, I didn't know that demonstrated listening. That's what they become more clear about, because we specifically, as we're listening to them coach, give them feedback. And it's not about the model. The model is important because the model gives you the structure. It's about how those competencies show up. And the feedback is really not about, I wouldn't have asked that question. It's about, did that competency show up? How did you create trust and intimacy? And specifically, how to do that? How to do that? And how does it sound? What does it sound like? Because we don't know. But that's why I just know that a program that has those kind of skills is making the difference.
Flow Coaching Institute was established in 2009 in Vancouver, Canada, to serve organizations and private companies in coaching, mentorship, and leadership development. So far at FCI, we have trained thousands of students to become professional coaches. At FCI, we have worked with many countries including Italy, Germany, Canada, Turkey, Russia, and many more. Flow coaching has got inspiration from the flow model in positive psychology, and that is how we came up with the idea of flow. And we wanted to teach people and also share what we experienced and what we learned, but how they can bring flow, more of flow into their lives, at work, in relationships, and in their own life, and in themselves, in their emotions too, and in their thinking processes too. So we have been coaching and teaching coaching since 2014 as a school. Before that, we worked with many companies and many individuals, but as a school, it has been since 2014. To be complete and to feel like nothing is missing in me, in my life, in my relationships, in my work. So when I feel like everything is, in one place all together and complete, then I feel like I'm in flow. And in that, place where I'm in flow, I'm also learning, and I have a feeling that, I'm in progress and I'm connected to something bigger than myself. It can be like a community, it can be a spiritual path, it can be a way to serve to this world, to people, to something bigger. And again, in that place, I feel like I'm learning from others, not only, from like reading or watching or whatever, but I'm also learning from others. So that is why coaching and teaching in the program, our program gives and brings a lot of flow into my life, because I'm learning from others. I'm not only coaching or teaching, but I'm learning. So that is a profession that helps you to have flow all the time, because you are in a constant learning process. in FCI, we get our students from 5 different domains. One is HR professionals, another one is executives, another one is managers, and another one is consultants, and also individuals who want to invest in their personal development. For HR professionals, coaching skills are very organic, and they have to have those skills anyways to be able to apply in their work. And definitely coaching is a value, and also it is something that they have to, it's a must. And most HR professionals, most of them also consider coaching as a career, as a future career for themselves. And the second domain that we get our students from is executives, either retired executives or executives who are thinking to retire in like 5 years. And they come to our program because for them coaching is a way to invest in themselves after they retire as a second career. So they become consultants and they become coaches. And the third area that we get, domain that we get our students from is managers, who are not thinking to become entrepreneurs, but who get programmed to strengthen their resumes. Because being a certified coach certainly is a value to their resume, and also those skills turn those managers into leaders. So that is an investment for them in their career. The fourth area is consultants and facilitators and trainers. In today's world, every consultant, every facilitator, and every trainer needs those coaching skills, and without those skills, their work is not complete, almost, I can say that. And the fifth domain that we get our students from is people, individuals who come to our program, and they're not aiming to become professional coaches, but they want to invest in their personal development. It helps people to understand what they really want and what they really don't want, what does serve to them, what are their strengths, how they can utilize their strengths in accordance with what they really want. And it helps them to be able to focus on short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. And it helps them to think strategically for their own life. And it helps them to stay accountable and resilient in the midst of chaos, and remember the long term, what is really important in the long run, and work towards, do something towards what is really important to them. And most of all, maybe it helps them to focus on what is really important to them.
My background is in corporate marketing. I spent 20 years in corporate marketing. And in that world, you are running from deadline to deadline. It's a really dynamic, exciting, creative environment, but it's high stress as well. And in those moments, sometimes you don't always bring your best self to the table. So if you're in an organization where you're lucky enough to get some training, that's fantastic. But what I can tell you is getting my coaching certification was like no other training that I'd ever received. What it really did was shine a very bright light on the behaviors that I was bringing that were impacting my ability to be a strong leader. So through coaching, what I learned that really helped enhance my overall approach to business was much stronger listening skills, much more confidence in my ability to trust my intuition and speak my mind, an ability to not take things personally, which was a really big help. which, because when you're going a million miles an hour, sometimes it's really hard to separate yourself from your work, and that is really important to have that sense of detached involvement in what you're doing, and not let the passion and the fear or the adrenaline be driving the decision making and the behaviors in an organization. So overall, I would say, in terms of the value that coaching would bring to anyone, certainly myself, in a leadership position, is really just becoming more consciously aware of your leadership behaviors and being able to choose which behaviors you want to bring to the table, regardless of the stress of the organization or the moment or the event.
When I did my coaching and training, I was in Canada, in British Columbia, and I was already a therapist then. But I was away from my family, and I was away from my clients, my friends, everybody. And there were those moments I felt like, I was almost isolated from my, established world. And coaching helped me in overcoming that feeling of isolation, and really helped me to focus on what I wanted to achieve, why I was there, what were my goals and what was my vision. So it really helped me to hold myself accountable and to not to fall into the sorrow of isolation, and not to have turbulence around my emotions. It really helped me to stay solution focused and to stay resilient, and it helped me to have to keep my passion. And so I really worked with my inner coach, and I really worked with those questions, and I asked those questions to myself. And I remember even writing down all those coaching questions and putting them on my wall and asking those questions to myself almost every day, and being very honest and authentic with my answers too. So that process of working with my inner coach helped me a lot in my early days, because as a new coach, as soon as you get your certification, you don't end up with many clients. You have to create a business, and you have to be very perseverant. And so those questions really helped me to look around and stay focused on my strengths and stay focused on my resources, and also get clients and inspire myself and inspire others. So that is how I learned to help myself through coaching. And it really inspired my life, it inspired my husband's life, and it inspired my daughter's life as well.